Luke 14. And it came to pass, as he went into the house of one of the chief Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath day, that they watched him. And behold, there was a certain man before him which had the dropsy. And Jesus answering spake unto the lawyers and Pharisees, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath day? And they held their peace. And he took him, and healed him, and let him go. And answered them, saying, Which of you shall have an ass or an ox fallen into a pit, and will not straightway pull him out on the Sabbath day? And they could not answer him again to these things. And he put forth a parable to those which were bidden, when he marked how they chose out the chief rooms, saying unto them, When thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee and him come and say to thee, Give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. But when thou art bidden, go and sit down in the lowest room, that when he bade thee cometh, he may say unto thee, Friend, go up higher. Then shalt thou have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Then said he also to him that bade him, When thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and a recompense be made thee. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed. But they cannot recompense thee, but thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. And when one of them that sat at meat with him heard these things, he said unto him, Blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of God. Then said he unto him, A certain man made a great supper, and bade many, and sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his lord these things. And the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, and the maimed, and the halt, and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out unto the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. But I say unto you, that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me, and hate not his father, and mother, and wife, and children, and brethren, and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross, and come after me, cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation, is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build, and was not able to finish. Or what king, going to make war against another king, sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an embassage, and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakakwadash. Much mercy and true honor to you brothers that's actually in the spirit. And we're in the marriage right now. And what has been fulfilled is the lanes and the highways, because the corruption level. Now, when you deal with the corruption level, now when you go back to what the Lord said in Matthew chapter 7. The Lord talks about the wide gate. So now with the wide gate being out there and the wickedness out there, you have to measure the times and know what time it is to separate yourself. Also, you have to understand and measure the times when it's a time when it was the time when it was time to go out and gather. And now this is the time now that everything you gathered in, you got to throw back out the bad now. So this is the time of the separation. The time of gathering has came and went. Now at this point, the elect and the true man of the Lord, they're going to get this via on the internet. Because what's going to happen is, what has happened is that the lanes and the highways and the hedges, they have become a gate and a wide gate for Satan and the wicked. You see, it's not a gate to get you to the spirit. What the spirit has done, it has took a back door. And what's just left out there is just camps and groups and guys. So you have to understand that when the Lord told Noah he was done building that ark, just like in Genesis, he told him, hey, he was done building that ark, that it was done with. The separation now is happening, which when you go back, like I read yesterday, Matthew 13, the tares and the wheat, they're being gathered into the Lord's barn. And what's left out there is the goats, which the tares will be in bundles, according to Matthew chapter 13. I want to read this right here in Luke chapter 14, because what you have to understand about this time, these just like the churches, right? Look at the churches in the world, the Catholic Church, the Christian Church. They're set up in so much of as a type of way that if we was to stay here in America, right? If we was to stay in Babylon, what would happen is them churches would be doing the same shit forever. A fucking hamster wheel. Now what's happening now, which a little bit more deeper, is the same thing that's happening with these groups and these churches. Which these groups in this time, they're like the churches, just with a little bit more information and the 12 tribe chart. So what's happening in this time, the churches and the camps and the shit of the world is going to keep being on that fucking hamster wheel. Because remember, Yahweh Shai, he's the finisher. He's the finisher of the faith. So therefore, when you deny the covenant, then you're not finishing like Yahweh Shai did. Now that covenant was of the New Testament. So if you clearly look at the world and how guys are teaching and what they're teaching, they're not in that spirit of the New Testament or the New Covenant. They're clearly not in that spirit. And those brothers that are in that spirit, that's not going to be out there like that. And we in those times. So like a lot of you guys, you can't tell what fucking time it is, then you guys are a part of the world, basically. Because the Spirit is speaking. And where's the Spirit found? It's found in the scriptures, which you have to eat the whole roll, swallow it down, and let it go into your stomach. And then what happens to that after it goes into your stomach? It goes into your blood and your organs, and then you shit the rest of that shit out. But what has happened is a lot of guys are not absorbing the nutrients in the spiritual side and Yahweh Shai from the scriptures. They haven't been absorbing Yahweh Shai. They've been eating his truth without absorbing Yahweh Shai. So now we're in a time now which these major groups in these camps, they've not been glorifying Yahweh Shai. So now nobody's in the spirit to actually discern the times. Now everybody's caught in the Y gate. Now you're in a position where your leaders and these men, they're not in a position to close and finish this thing because they're not in the spirit, because they took the Y gate in the highest seat. Now you cannot be in the spirit in the highest seat, as the Lord tells you right here in Luke the 14th chapter. When you come to this marriage, you got to be the most humblest and the lowest one. That means don't make yourself of a name or nothing. Guys have broken that. So therefore, men are unable to finish on account of a lot of things. Therefore, the Lord will set up men to finish and close this thing out. And it don't matter what men or people will fucking think about it. And this is what we have to understand. So going back to baseball, when you have those closers and you have those finishers, I did a lesson on it going back a few months. The true closers and the pitchers and the ones that came in to get those saves, they were the ones to close the game out, the finishers. So therefore, when guys deny that covenant, now they are denying the spirit of Yahweh Shai. You see how heavy that is? You're denying that agreement with Yahweh Shai that you're going to move like him. That's what you're denying. So camps and groups, they're not moving like Yahweh Shai until they come off the ships. Hey, Luke chapter 14, verse 27. I just wanted to make that point because I got a couple scriptures. It's not going to be all day. Because the point is, due to the carnal groups and camps and the corruption and these leaders, they're not teaching like the Lord. They're teaching in a way to keep your ass here. Like for another 30 years if you had to. They'll keep guys under the fucking spell. But what's happening is you actually have the closers who the Lord actually sent out, like he sent out Jeremiah. Your job is to close this thing out, to be that weapon that the Lord uses to close this thing up. Now, because these groups and these camps, they become part of the world, they can't close it because they have too many things here. So now guys love their life because they've gotten comfortable. Now the scriptures say Jerusalem being searched with candles. Now these guys that's sitting in these camps and these groups, they're not searching nothing with candles. Hey, Luke chapter 14, verse 27, it says, whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which one of you intendeth building a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. So guys have started this truth. They started it. I bank on it from the beginning, guys was corrupt. But let's just say guys started it. And now we're at a point now where guys do not have the qualities to finish it because they X Yahweh Shai out until they come off the spaceships. You see, so it's nothing but confusion and bullshit out there in the Y gate. So guys have encountered the cost, whether or not sufficient to finish it. Now guys can't finish it because they want to fucking stay here. So this is what's happening. Luke chapter 14, verse 29. Least happily after he had laid the foundations, not able to finish it, and behold it, began to mock at him. It says, at all that began to mock at him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. And that's what's happening right now. We're in a time where the spirit of separation is real heavy in this time. And I don't know if you brothers can understand, but the spirit of separation is heavy. And what the spirit in these camps and these groups is not the spirit of Yahweh Shai. You see, they're totally going against the commandments the Lord left in the New Testament to follow. These guys are following the ways of the wicked scribes and the Pharisees. So because they denied the covenant and they became a part of the world, like all these churches and these groups, then they're not able to finish it. That means the Lord isn't there. But everything else is there. The numbers, the cloud, this, that, and the third. But the spirit isn't there. Now you have to find the spirit, because guys are not in the spirit of getting out of here. That's why guys want to teach all these pointless lessons. Was guys bring out things. Yeah, guys do be bringing out a lot of info, but they've totally forgot what this job requirement was. It wasn't even about all that fucking info and what Yahweh Shai did with the spirits. So that's why we say that a lot of guys are corrupt, because due to how Yahweh Shai, even he said on the cross, he said what? It is finished. And then the brother brought out today, Matthew, what's that? John 17, the Lord said that I have glorified the Lord. He said he glorified the Lord and he finished the work. You see? You see, so you have to understand that the men of the Lord, they had missions they had to complete and finish. Like this, go back to the ark with Noah. He completed the ark and it was done. Guys are not in the spirit of finishing because they denied the covenant. Therefore, the covenant is the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is the author and finisher, which showed you how to finish. So guys are not finishing because they can't finish, because they are part of the world. This is Exodus 20, 40, and 33. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar and set it up hanging of the court. So Moses finished the work. You see? Then the cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord was filled. And then the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. So even Moses, he had particular things he had to finish. So Moses finished the work, then the cloud covered the tent of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Exodus chapter 40 and 34. There's many great works that Moses had to do. But this thing is about finishing the work. Joshua 4 and 10, it says, for the priest which bare the ark stood in the midst of Jordan. It says, everything was finished that the Lord commanded Joshua to speak unto the people according to all that Moses commanded Joshua, and the people hasted and passed over. There were certain things that the Lord wanted to be said. You see? So guys are not finishing. They're not even speaking what the Lord is saying. They're not even the Y gates in these groups in the camps. They're not saying what the Lord is saying. They're saying their own thing. This is 1 Chronicles 28 and 20. It says, and David said to Solomon his son, be strong of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for thy God, thy power, even thy power, will be with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. And a lot of guys, they don't believe in that. They don't believe in that, man. This is what Solomon told his son. This is what David said to Solomon. I gotta read this back, man. This is heavy. 1 Chronicles 28 and 20. And David said to Solomon his son, be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for the Lord thy power, even thy power, will be with thee. And he will not fail thee or forsake thee until thou hast finished all the work for the service of the house of thy power. So it was a certain work that men had to fulfill. And because guys have became part of the world, they can't tell when the times is measured, is fulfilled. You know, guys don't get it because they fell into the world. And they think it's about just making weak ass videos all day on info. This truth was built on Yahweh Shai. So if guys are not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, teaching His word, you got guys that are teaching His word that is not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. What the fuck? Oh man, it is crazy what's happening, but it's happening like that. And the men of the Lord were only set up to pull out a few. And the spirit is like, if you could find the spirit, then you'll be able to get out of here. Just like finding that phone booth to the Matrix. That's exactly what this is. And if you're not in the spirit or been jacked into the phone booth in these last days, a lot of you guys, man, you're not going to fucking make it. You know, that's what time we is. Yahweh Shai through the new covenant, He showed you how to finish it. You see, He showed you how to read spirits. You see? So guys wasn't sufficient enough to finish the work. John chapter 4, verse 34. And Yahweh Shai said unto them, my meat is to do the will of Him that sent me and to finish His work. This is what was meant for the Lord to do, man. It was meant for the Lord to finish the work. Not have us on a fucking demonic hamster wheel of info. Yahweh Shai is the finisher. Because guys became part of the world, they don't want to finish. Hebrews 12 and 2. Looking unto Salakia, Hebrews 12 and 2. Looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith. For it says, who for the joy that was set before Him endured the cross. A lot of guys, they're not enduring the work of the Lord. They're not. They've sold out. They took in like a backdoor deal. Like guys that sold out in their mind. They're not even brothers teaching this word. You got demonic guys that's not really brothers, like in the flesh. Like they're demonic. You see? It says, endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down on the right hand of the throne of the Most High. Right. So you have to be despised. Like it tells you right here in Isaiah 53. Like I read yesterday, the Lord said you'll be hated. I don't know how guys take that one double honor scripture, rape it, and then just flip it like you're supposed to be honored in this weak ass world. They've totally corrupted the scriptures, man. Isaiah 53 and 3. Now that a wide gate, which the wide gate is not going to finish. It's just going to keep going like a hamster wheel, like McDonald's. You see, these guys are demonic, man. But the Lord is like pulling the rug from under them, and they still want to like keep going. But that's how it's going to be. Isaiah 53 and 3. He is despised and rejected of men. You see that? You got to understand that. You can have no ties to this world. The Lord said, take the Lord's seat. So you can have no ties to this fucking world. So going back to what the Lord said again. Guys are not in the spirit of finishing. First of all, they denied the covenant. Therefore, they're not in the spirit of Yahweh Shai in the new covenant. So when you deny the new covenant, you're not in the spirit of the new covenant. Boy. John 4 and 34. And Yahweh Shai say unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish the work. And even Paul knew it was time to be done. Even he knew that. You see? So certain men, Moses and David told Solomon to finish. That's a legacy. To start the job, see the highways and the hedges, the Lord did that. But when it came towards the end of his ministry, like I went into yesterday, spitting in the Lord's face. And a lot of you guys denying the covenant and talking about all praises to Yahweh Shai, you're spitting in his face. That's what you're doing. You like taking his name, but then like, hey, I'm not in the covenant with you. And there's no reason why you should deny that covenant. It's just that guys are so corrupted. They thought of a way to make it sound good. But you don't need a new body. You just need a new mind. You need the new covenant. And you need to become a new man under the new covenant, understanding Yahweh Shai. Because what's happening is the world and these camps and these groups, they're going to be swallowed down. And you got to escape out of that shit, man. You got to escape out of that shit. You know, anything that's exalted right now in the world, and you're with it. You see what I'm saying? Especially shit like groups and camps and shit, believing false doctrine, believing in false prophets and shit like that. That is very heavy in this time. And the reason guys are not in the spirit because they've denied that new covenant this whole time. They say you waiting on the new covenant. So therefore, when you deny the covenant, you're denying the Lord, which is you're denying the spirit. That's why guys don't know what time it is. But with that, man, it will not stop, man. What has happened is guys have been corrupted. Just like if you look at these entertainers, they don't want to finish anything. They want to keep doing what they're doing. That's what guys are. They're a bunch of fucking entertainers. A bunch of fucking clowns and parrots. And with that, it'll be on to the next one. Hey, Shalom.
They look thirsty! Well, let's give them something to drink! To the clan!